But here's what I can tell you. One, we know we've killed thousands of terrorists because our campaign has been target the monsters who perpetrated the October 7th
How do you know they're terrorists?
Two, we know. How do we know they're terrorists?
How do you tell a Hamas terrorist from a Palestinian civilian who's not part of Hamas?
Hamas is making it very difficult to do that because we know that it's
So how do you know you've killed thousands of them?
Because we know who we are targeting. We are targeting on the basis of precise intelligence.
Yeah, but here's my problem.
And not the civilians.
Okay, but here's my problem with this, is that by your own admission, you don't know how many Hamas terrorists, and I categorize people who belong to the Hamas organization as terrorists, just for clarity. But you don't actually know, do you, how many of them you've killed? And by your own admission, just a few moments ago, you said they make it incredibly difficult for you to work out who is a Hamas terrorist and who is a civilian. And that seems to me part of the problem that you have with the optics of this to the wider world, is that they're seeing horrible imagery all day long. I mean, it's just the worst thing I've ever seen all over social media. It is suggesting to people that there are thousands and thousands of women and a lot of children, maybe as many as 5,000-6,000 children now, have been killed by these airstrikes and now the ground attack. And I think the problem that you have, and I say this respectfully, the problem you have is that you don't actually know how many Hamas terrorists you're killing. I mean, if you're honest, you don't, do you?
We know that we've killed thousands of terrorists. We know that Hamas is inflating the numbers.
You don't actually know
and
that.
we believe...
But that's my problem with this. You say you have, but when I push you for the details, you don't have them. And that
Piers,
for me,
I still
that's
can't
the
tell
problem
you exactly how many Israelis were murdered in the October 7th
I understand
massacre,
that.
because we're still
and that's
counting
horrific.
bodies.
No, but I agree with you. That is utterly horrific that you still can't determine how many people were killed that day because of the horrors that were perpetrated. You and I are in complete agreement. But nor do you know how many of these Hamas terrorists you're killing. It could be that vast numbers of them, and we think there are around 35,000 perhaps in total, that vast numbers of them either disappeared into the tunnels and have been safely there ever since, or simply went south with the million or more Palestinian supposed civilians that went down there. Maybe a lot of them infiltrated that group and are down in the south. You don't actually know, do you, for sure?